Zimbabwe, yes! Zimbabwe! Come on now. No, it's no shame at all, Pakistan fans, to lose to Zimbabwe in Australia. There's no shame in that. Welcome back to the Tubs, the morning after Tubs. More of a breakfast tub this morning, powered by Cred. Cred paydays are bringing insane rewards during this World Cup. You can pay all your bills with Cred, not just your phone, your electricity, your water bills, any bill, just like how Pakistan can pay their gas bill after absolutely taking the gas in the last two games. Pakistan should already really be through to a semi-final. Instead, they're basically out of the World Cup. But you know what? Any gas bill they have, they can pay it through Cred. Sam Perry, that's payback. That's payback for PAKBEAN.
That's what you get for sending PAKBEAN. I mean,
do you want to explain that?
No, not really. But the Zimbabwean president, put it best on Twitter. For those who are watching who aren't aware of PAKBEAN, and I don't think there are many of you, because I'm not sure we've ever had more notifications from Indians asking us to put this in the prism of PAKBEAN.
I thought it was a dish originally.
There was an agriculture show in Zimbabwe, and for some reason Pakistan, and I'm obviously going to get this story right,
definitely
were required to send Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, and instead they sent a lookalike of Mr. Bean,
a Pakistan comedian,
a Pakistani comedian who does look a lot like Mr. Bean, to be fair.
He calls himself PAKBEAN.
He calls himself PAKBEAN. I haven't seen his act,
and
and so I'm going to reserve judgment on whether it was a good act, but it was obviously of great offence to the Zimbabweans, and as it was put on Twitter a few days ago, there will be revenge. There was revenge, and the Zimbabwean president sealed it with a tweet. I thought that's where you're going to go with paydays, because Pakistan could have paid for just Rowan Atkinson, and maybe they'd be through to the semi-finals. Yeah,
it was. Well, that event was held at Harare International Conference Centre, one of my favourite conference centres, as you know, around the world.
At least in the conversation.
And it was $10 a ticket. 10 bucks.
See you back 10.
Yeah, see you back 10
You
squid.
want Rowan Atkinson for that.
Exactly.
Minimum.
Anyway, Zimbabwe made 130. That was way too many for Pakistan, who fell an enormous one run short. Okay, let's get straight into it, mate. Let's get into it. The first thing, Zimbabwe come from nowhere to win it. Okay, so can I set this up for you?
Please.
Pakistan are 88 for 3.
Chasing 130.
Chasing 130. They need 43 off 39 to win this cricket match. Shadab and Shan Masood are in. They've just had a 50 partnership.
Raza, 37 balls, so looking pretty good. You're thinking,
hey, job done. Then Raza takes 2 in 2 balls. Okay, the first is Shadab, and Raza's celebration. So the ball before, he's been hit for 6 over long on, and then Raza just changes up slightly, gives another one of his variations.
Yeah.
And Shadab bunts it down to a long off. And as the ball's in the air, Raza just turns and he's celebrating, much like Afridi used to.
Yes.
The original Afridi and Ronaldo. And
PAKv.
Except it's the same guy.
Just add Pac to the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep rolling it.
What kind of man was he? Pac-Man. Mate, that's...
I was expecting a man at my door. An escort.
Pac-Man tried to gobble me up.
I didn't want Pac-Man.
He was expecting an escort. Are you an escort?
Still remember at a live show, Steve O'Keefe, who lived with Steve Smith, just described him as Pac-Man around the house. He just walks around the house just going... I don't know what it means, but there you go.
But that celebration from Raza, it created vibrations, energy, something. And all of a sudden, it went from 88 for 3 to 88 for 4.
Yep.
But and it was still like, well, Pakistan will just win this game. But there was something, that celebration was like, this is fucking on for some reason. And he was right, because next ball, Haider Ali kicks one with both legs off middle stump. He goes, well, have a look at that. It was missing off and leg, and the top of middle and the bottom of middle. But it wasn't in the middle of middle.
A ball's never been hitting halfway up middle more. Apart from a couple of decisions I've seen McGrath on in Zimbabwe.
In a row.
That Rob Belinda puts up every 6 months or so.
Terrific content.
On Twitter, great content.
G'day, Rob.
Yeah, g'day,
and
Rob.
Belinda.
Yeah, that's right.
And 2.
And you say Rob Belinda. Anyway, let's not get off track. This was... So you described that perfectly, and Raza was the man. Sikandar Raza was the man. Yeah. Ricky Ponti made some great comments about him after the game, or was it before?
It was before the game, and then Raza saw it. He woke up to it. Yeah, imagine waking up to a morning from fucking...
Message from Punter just saying how good you are delivering under pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of your bed after you've had sex. Sorry. Anyway, but then you were right. Pakistan, 88 for 3. It's all looking good. And then Raza creates the energy and the vibes. And all of a sudden, Pakistan, who are one of the chief authors of this book, which is called The Anatomy of a Collapse.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Which is, you know, the scientific branch of clinical medicine and surgery. The foreword was written by the PCB.
Yeah, that's right.
And a whole bunch of their kind of elders over the last couple of generations. Then you feel that it's on. It's the way Raza celebrates. It's the fact that Izzat Haider kicks one and it's smashing all three, and he goes, we'll have a look. So they get the double celebration. You know, so it's, you know what, in Australia we have a term for that. It's not as kind of, I guess, elegant
what is
as
it
saying
again?
The anatomy of a collapse. It's called bed shit stuff. It's called holy. They're about to shit.
Right.
They're about to shit the bed here.
That's right.
In Australia,
it was Banjo Patterson.
It was Banjo Patterson, the wonderful bush poet. He'd get in a little tete-a-tete with Henry Lawson, who was a city poet.
Yeah.
And Banjo Patterson's talking about shitting the bed.
That's
you
right.
know,
That's
hit your
right.
head.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Mate, I thought the LBW reminded me of how Dhoni used to keep on some of the wickets, where he used to like try and just stop it with both legs.
Yeah.
When he's standing back to the stumps. Okay, then next over. Shan Masood gets stumped down the leg side. He actually finished 44 off 38. The keeper, Chekabva, just blew him over. Just blew him over. Took the bails.
It was fantastic keeping, and it was again it was in line with what else happens in the anatomical structure of a collapse.
Someone does something amazing.
It is. It's like all of a sudden he's fucking, I don't know, can't think of one keeper.
Name one keeper in the header.
That's right. Graham Manu.
Tatenda Taibo. Then all of a sudden, Pakistan have gone from 88 for 3 to 94 for 6. Okay, let's get to the final over.
Because then they come back again, Pakistan.
They come back again.
Couple of bombs.
Yeah, Nawaz and Wasim are in. I think they need 10 off the last over. I think that's what it was.
And then they get it to 4 off 4.
Right, so Brad Evans is bowling. Second ball of the last over goes for 4. Now they need 4 off 4. They need 4 off 4 wickets in hand.
Pakistan
all the fours, get all the fours, put them all in a row.
Yeah.
Now Nawaz and Wasim are in, as I said before, they hit a single. That means 3 off 3, and that's when the fun starts. And it's a dot.
So it's looking good. And you got to remember, after India-Pakistan, there was wonderful footage from Pakistan's change rooms. Unfortunately, that footage did not include whatever Matt Hayden said, or I'd like to have known. But Babar Azam actually looked at Muhammad Nawaz and said, "You are my match winner," and that's pretty cool. Poor old bastard's in the same scenario again.
He's 0 from 2. 2 for 2 for bed shits.
Okay, Imodium.
Then it's it's 3 needed off 2, and then Evans goes length and he gets the wicket of Nawaz, who bunts it to mid-off, who finished 22 off 18, Nawaz, to be fair. So he got in that position, took him all the way.
Well, he bowled Kohli as well, you know, in a pretty tough situation, conceded 3. That was the wrong line.
Just missed his line, didn't he? Just missed his line.
Just missed there.
It's a game of interest, especially in the showers. Okay, then the captain Craig Irvine took the catch at mid-off there. Wasim on his haunches at the non-striker's end for a good 45 seconds, and you see footage of Babar Azam, who's just he closed his eyes. I can't fucking watch this shit.
But it wasn't like closing your eyes like, say, Rohit National Anthem, I'm emotional. It's closing your eyes like, these are the last few seconds before the national bed shit happens.
That's
right.
Know what I mean? That's right. Yeah, his whole life flashing before his eyes. 3 needed off the last ball. All of a sudden, the new batsman Shaheen Shah Freddie, 22 years old, comes into the crease. He just needs 2 off that last ball. Just needs 2. Hard position to be in.
2 for the super over.
2 for the super over. 3 to win. Brad Evans bowling. He bowls. It's not quite a half volley. It's not quite a Yorker. Somewhere in between. He can't get underneath it. Shaheen. He puts it down to long on, who's sort of 3/4 back, and it's Raza again. And he puts in one of the worst throws you'll ever see to the keeper. It actually reminded me a bit of Pat Cummins heading lead to Nathan Lyon. It was a little bit fuller than that.
But it was great. It was a great pickup, and it was great awareness to go. Maybe not great. I mean, he's got to be expected to do that.
Yeah.
But to go to the keeper in that situation, because whoever was it Nawaz at the non-strikers, and he was
Wasim,
off. Wasim, sorry, he was off.
Yeah, he was off. He was off.
Not saying it's too early or anything. I'm just saying he was pretty much home by the time
I tell you what,
Raza picked it up.
Mate, there is no better way to win a close game than a run out where the batsman is diving into his crease.
Yes.
That is absolute fucking scenes. And I just love when the support staff get on there before the bails have been taken.
I also love when the keeper drops it and picks it up and has enough time to take it off. That's what Nathan Lyon didn't do at Headingley.
I don't remember that happening. Anyway, so just absolute fucking scenes, jubilation, and you got to say, like Zimbabwe, they've done some business. They've done some business in recent times. Obviously, beat Australia in an ODI, to be fair. And they have got themselves into the Super 12s. They've won this game. They've been great value. And they're vibes. They are a vibes team. They're energy. They've got great cricketers and a couple of grade cricketers. You know, I'm disappointed with the kit. I don't like that being too much yellow in a Zimbabwe kit. For me, that's just for me.
Right.
Let me know I'm wrong in the comments.
No, it's just the correct amount of yellow.
But you know, this is a fucking great World Cup all of a sudden, because these wickets are 130 to 160 games where there's something in it for everyone, and it's tough, and when you get, you know, the non full member teams putting in great shifts like Ireland and Zimbabwe. Now, are they both test playing? I don't know. I'm insulting someone. It's just fucking great. It's just great. And Pakistan are out now. Well,
mate, Zimbabwe are 1 foot. Because Zimbabwe basically 1 foot in the semis. I'd say possibly a leg, possibly an R. Ashwin leg.
Got a fantastic 1 point against South Africa.
Yeah, well, it was. I mean, they got essentially 3 tough games: India, South Africa, and Pakistan.
Yeah.
And having played 2 of those games, they've come away with 3 points.
Yeah.
You know, like, talk about like it's Premier League now, but they're 3 points from those tough games.
All away from home.
Say they lose to India. They've got eminently winnable games against the Netherlands and Bangladesh.
And then, but they're on the same amount of points as South Africa.
Yeah, there's some net run rate shit, and they probably won't make it.
Yeah.
But
but imagine if they did.
But they're a leg in. They've got a leg in there, and it's a good looking leg. Especially if you look at their quicks, there's some tall timber there.
Holy
banging
shit.
that Perth deck.
Yeah.
And you know, this is meant to be Pakistan's game, bowling rockets, and Mohammad WASIM did bowl rockets.
Yes.
But Zimbabwe bowled better than them.
Yeah.
They were good value for these points. This isn't an also round knock him over. This was some good shit.
Yeah. Earlier in the game, Mohammad WASIM took 4 for 24. Zimbabwe were going okay. I forget what the scores actually were, but they lost 4 for none in 6 balls.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
What were they? They were 3 for 88, and then they were 6 for 94 or some shit. Is that how it works? 4 for 6 off 6 balls. And then it was like, oh, okay, Pakistan have just got themselves back in this position. So Shadab actually is on a hat trick for the next game.
Fuck, he's good looking, Shadab Khan, isn't he? And he's a fast tweaker.
He's a fast tweaker. Into the deck, 99 Ks an hour. That's what you need.
That's what you need. That's what you need.
Fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
So at that point you just thought, well, Zimbabwe putting a score together here, and then with WASIM and Shadab taking 4 wickets in 6 balls, they just reeled it right back in. Zimbabwe made 130 in the end, of course, but you just thought, like, you know, Pakistan have just done enough here to now clinch this game, just from that small moment there of a space of 6 balls. But you know,
Zimbabwe had been watching Sidemouth as well, and where that bloke said Pakistan's just a 2-wicket game.
Yeah,
and knocked over Bubba and Rizwan in quick enough succession. Bubba 7 balls to get off the mark, hits a boundary, pack him next ball. Rizwan not follows not long afterwards.
Almost smashes the stumps over.
Yeah, that's right. And who was it? Is it Muzarabani? What a rig, what height, and the way he roared when he got
first name Blessing. Yes, please. Yes, please.
And he knocks over Rizwan and he just roars into the Perth skies. Loving it.
Yes.
Evans' height. Zimbabwe's hitting the deck.
Yeah.
I was happy with it. And then they banked on a Pakistan bed shit. They got it. And now
Take that to the bank.
Back on the Pakistan bed shit. They got it. And now they're 1 leg.
Yeah.
If you're joining cricket for the first time, it's going to take you a while.
The number of comments in every video, I don't know what these guys are talking about, but they seem like having a good time. Well, 100%. 100%. All right, third thing then. That's Pakistan done then? I mean, they're a long way back now. They're 0 from 2. They've got to play against South Africa. They've got to play against Bangladesh, and they've got the Netherlands. So they can maximum they can finish on 6 points. They only lost like 0.05 in net run rate for the last game. They must be about the same in this game because they've lost both games off the last ball. So they won't be too far back in net run rate. It is possible for them to make it through, but they're now relying on South Africa or Zimbabwe to finish in less than 6 points, and they're both on 3.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah,
and they both have to play the Netherlands.
One of those 2 teams is going to have to suffer an upset.
Yes, that's right.
Basically, and Pakistan to be perfect.
I got to tell you, I had high hopes for Pakistan in this tournament. Like I thought they were like, I mean, dark horse is a little harsh, I feel like, because they've got, I think they're just excellent players, but they're now out of the World Cup. I mean, they're essentially out of the World Cup, really.
I think it's fair to say the World Cup is going well. Like one thing I like about it is that it's 12 teams. There's 4 spots for 12 teams. That's cutthroat as fuck. Like most of the time in tournaments now, because of the commercial imperative, you might make it 6. Give everybody a go.
Oh, it's like the opposite of live golf.
Let's keep it going. Yeah, and you just never like. Eventually, you have to wait for the point in the tournament where it matters. But like for this tournament, every game's mattered. So Pakistan have been pretty good value for most of both games they've been in.
They've been winning both games.
Yeah, and now Shahab Bakhar's saying it's a national embarrassment. You know, and it's just like, obviously, if you want to win the World Cup, you probably got to knock over Zimbabwe at some point. You know, like
at some point, whether it be a semi, the final itself, or a qualifier.
But in fact, India is the only team that have been that have been perfect, I suppose. They've won both of their games. They've had no other upset. Like New Zealand, obviously, they didn't get on, so they're on 3 points, but they've lost the opportunity to have a perfect record, and it's the same with South Africa as well. So there's cat amongst pigeons stuff once again.
I mean,
bed shit, legs, cat amongst pigeons. The World Cup's going well, but everyone's suffering.
One leg in.
Yeah, one leg in. La Nina. It's pissing down outside Australia, England. There's by rights, it's not going to go the way that we think it's going to go.
Yes,
you know, there's all sorts of other shit happening.
That's right. I mean, South Africa were absolutely stitched up by the fact that they didn't get the 5 overs in of their game against Zimbabwe, and they were already ahead of the Duckworth-Lewis score had they even lost 10 wickets at that point. So that was an absolute stitch up, Hashtag AskTGC. SRD wrote in, he said, boys, you know what I think? After Harsha basically told the whole world about AXAR's affair, he reached out to him and told him not to spread the word too much as his partner was not that comfortable being in the public eye. That's what Harsha, as a gentleman, mentioned the relationship today as a friendship. Thoughts? Hashtag AskTGC. We're referring to AXAR's relationship with the Stumps, which Harsha has been talking about.
I'm just wondering how to tie this into PAKBEAN somehow for this thing. PAKBEAN, third man in. I remember KL Rahul posted something about it a decade ago, and I've just said this once online, and it may not have even been him.
Yeah, 2013, I think it was.
2013. It's a young KL Rahul referring to the Devil's Threesome.
The Devil's Threesome.
You just can't make eye contact.
Can't make eye contact.
So I'm just wondering if there's any tie in between that and AXAR and his relationships with the Stumps and Harsha Bhogle. It'll work for someone sexually.
Hey, we're doing side mouth tonight outside the MCG. It is cold as fuck, it's wet as fuck, but we're hoping that game goes ahead. We're doing the review for Australia, England, of course, and side mouth outside the ground. So if you're in Melbourne, if you want to come and say g'day, then